What is good, boxing fans and gamers? It's your almost forgot, fight fans, MMA fans, you guys too. Welcome to the channel. It's your boy Fight Nate's Finest, the selfie commentator, coming at you with a review of the gameplay for EA UFC 2. This game has a lot of content for me to just give you a full-fledged review of everything, and I didn't rush into any of the other game modes besides a couple of online matches, one online, like official online unranked match, and then like practice sessions with your boy 592, whose stream is in the description, so go ahead and check it out if you want to learn more about this game and actually see somebody who's really good at the game. But on to what I was saying. I haven't really dived much into the other modes, but practice mode, definitely been in there a lot, been in the lab a whole bunch, and fight now, practicing things that I learned in the lab and trying to take them into the octagon. But let me get started by saying this. This is my personal thoughts, and it's more towards somebody who's come from a boxing game into a UFC game, and being able to explain to people the differences between Fight Night Champion and EA UFC 2, and how a boxing fan will translate into this game, and also some of the flaws that I have found within the gameplay that I don't particularly like. So the first thing that I really have a problem with, and now I'll talk about something good afterwards, is fighters have too much health, or they regain health too quick. It's one of those two types of problems. When it comes to damage and striking and standing up and really landing devastating shots like that, if you're not landing like some type of like spinning back kick that will do like crazy damage, or I don't know, a Superman punch off the cage while flying in, even those don't really do the damage all the time that they should do. The game doesn't respect damage from hooks, straights, jabs, and leg kicks. Leg kicks, like whether it's to the head or to the body, you really have to land a huge number of them in succession, along with capping it off with some type of special strike or advanced strike, as they like to call it, before you really see any damage done. And I have a huge problem with that. Also, if you do a lot of damage, or if you try to pile up damage over time by good technique, good like boxing, but coming behind a jab, landing a number of jabs, landing small short combos, and then moving out and then coming doing again the same way, and then maybe getting a knockdown later into the fight, it's like it doesn't work, because the computer, or just in general, you regenerate health way too fast for any of that to take place. It's like if it's either you're all in or you're getting beat up on. That's the way that I feel the game is, because while it's good in terms of the graphics and the control scheme, is the options that you have within the striking and the number of kicks and things that you can do is good. I do think that is good. But while you have a lot of options, it's very limited in the number of things that actually do damage. And also, having to go balls to the wall in order to get those knockdowns is less than ideal for a fighter who wants to be technical. Also, one thing that comes with being a good technical fighter who, like I said, wants to respect range, throw short shots, throws quick combos, and then maybe throwing a shot and then land a power shot behind it, is you have to have the ability to play defense. And while defense is in this game, and they have tried to make it more skill based, moving away from the more arcadey pump blocking in Fight Night Champion with the automatic block, and just holding R1 with switching it to high and low blocking with you having to press either R1 and R2. I don't even know what it is on Xbox, but you can't do it fast enough to transition into high to low, then faster than let me say that one more time, because that didn't come out right. But transition from high to low block is not fast enough to keep up with the hand speed that your opponent can actually throw those combos with. So it's really difficult to play defense on there, because also the animations just come at you pretty fast to the point where you can't read it, or if you are able to read it, you still can't react fast enough, just because the high and low block doesn't move quick enough for you to really get in position to block, and that's a problem. Some strikes is like you have to take it or I'm not gonna take it. It's one or the other. I was sparring with your boy 592, and one thing is why I'm trying to use a technical style that makes you have to respect range and using the jab, movement, and all these other things. He can literally walk through all that stuff because it just doesn't do the damage that it's supposed to. And if I come with a quick short combo, like for example, jab, straight, left hook, he can throw a very powerful like a head kick or some type of special shot, overhand right or anything like that, and he'll rock me or do a bunch of damage, and it negates completely the 3-punch combo that I just sent at my opponent. So things like that, it's like striking isn't realistic in the sense of the punches don't do damage that is respectable, and the damage that you do pile up gets regenerated too quickly. So that is like a major issue that I find when it comes to striking in this game. Like me throwing double uppercuts, jab, straight, right hook. You saw the combo that landed. Lands one knee to the body, and it's like okay, where was all the damage that I just done? Also, look how quickly Aldo's head health is going to regenerate and allow him to become healthy again. So it's like damage over time doesn't really exist because it heals up way too fast. I talked about defense in terms of blocking, but I also want to talk about what we would call in boxing ring generalship. I don't know if it's called octagon generalship in EA MMA, or not EA MMA, just in UFC and MMA in general. But you cannot cut the cage off. That's not possible in this game. The cage, being able to cut distance and keep your opponent there, unless if you're into a clinch, it doesn't exist. You can move away from the cage basically at will. I think you'll see some examples of that in this fight as it continues to go on. But I find that really strange because then if you can't cut the ring off or cut the octagon off the way that you would like, you can't really get in a position to really dominate your opponent with an overwhelming amount of shots than if you can just take them out with like some type of fancy spinning back kick. And to me, that's a real issue. Also, when it comes to just trying to straight up box, you have to worry about the takedown, and the ground game I think is actually really damn good on this game. If you're good on the ground, if you really master the ground controls, I've seen Sakuraba 1982 go to the ground, take his opponents to the ground on several occasions and just completely demolish them. I also seen your boy 592 take people to the ground and completely demolish people. So the ground game, I think, that has been revamped from EA UFC is definitely a huge improvement. And if you really want to be good at the game, master the ground game, because that's really where it's at. In terms of a fun factor on the game, I do think the game is actually really fun. I enjoy playing the game. I still think it's an average game that you're gonna have to invest a lot of time into, and I think that's for me what makes it fun, because I enjoy a challenge. I enjoy learning curves. I enjoy things that are supposed to be difficult and things that are supposed to be like a chess match. And while I think against the right type of opponent you can get a chess match kind of feel out, online, people are either going to rush you for a quick finish, or people are just going to, spam away with whatever they can in order to catch the fastest knockdown or get the quickest knockdown or anything of that nature. So, like I said, I think it has room for improvement. I think it's an average game, not a great game. It's good in the sense of if you're a fight fan, you might enjoy actually just being able to get into a game that it works, but it still has a lot of things that need to be fixed. So those are my personal issues with it. Those are the things that I actually find that are good. But I would think, the stamina system also is a little bit unrealistic in a sense. But when you take it to the ground, stamina really does matter. When you're standing, it's like it really doesn't. I've seen computer matches where it's like you can have like no stamina and your opponent has a lot of stamina and they're throwing headshots and it's like doing nothing. So it's like I said, I wanna like it. I do like it, but it's like, because I feel like I like it because I want to like it, not because the game really makes me feel like, without a shadow of a doubt, you're gonna enjoy every moment that you play the game. So just keep that in mind before you pick this up. Like I said, as a boxer, as a boxing fan, I'm not opposed to a learning curve, but you can't really get that I'm boxing kind of feel out of it, just due to the fact that if you even look at the strikes, it's always designed to bring you forward. It's always designed to bring you in close to your opponent. It's not about making your opponent respect range. You can't throw a jab without stepping in. There's no range factor in this game. When I say range is a factor when you're out in range, but it's not really a factor because you can be chest to chest and then throw a leg kick to somebody's head and some strange form of way. It happens. And it's like range is not really a respectable thing. So keep that in mind before you pick this game up. If you're really unsure about it but still want to get it, and you don't want to spend $60 on it, I think it'll be worth it, definitely, once it's a price cut. But other than that, unless, like I said, if you care about rankings and things of that nature, then pick it up now. Try to learn it the best way you can, and hopefully they'll patch the things that I think are wrong with the game, and I think it'll also make it a lot more enjoyable. Like, another thing, man, the lean back is broken. Like, it's a couple of things that really do need to be fixed, but like I said, this is definitely a step in the right direction. So let me know what you guys think of this fight, and think of the gameplay, think of the commentary. If you did enjoy, please go ahead and jab that like button for me. Got that from somebody in the comment section as of my last video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and like I said, please leave your thoughts and comments on the game and on the video in the comment section below. Anyways, it's been your boy, Fighting Its Finest, the Sofa Commentator, and I'm off. Peace!